Hello everyone, I am Anuj Nakade and welcome to livelaw. There are new developments in the court case about the deployment of the Central Paramilitary forces to maintain the fairness of the Panchayat election process in West Bengal from the Calcutta High Court. The West Bengal Panchayat Elections of 2023 are set to be held on the 8th of July this year. As you know, the leader of the opposition, Mr. Suvendu Adhikari of the BJP, had approached the Calcutta High Court seeking directions from the court for the State Election Commission to file a report marking the areas which are sensitive and immediately requisition and deploy Central Paramilitary forces in such sites, along with areas where State Security Assessment Report denotes to have inadequate force to provide security till after election results. The petition also seeks directions to be issued to the West Bengal State Election Commission to allow the filing of nominations by candidates who were prevented from filing their nominations by the respective SDOs, and ensure that all police personnel have to present their government-issued photo identity cards along with badge numbers, tags, and Aadhaar cards while discharging their election duties. The bench noted that though a direction for earmarking sensitive areas and deploying forces was passed, no appreciable steps were taken in this regard. While the commission submitted that it may take a couple of days to identify sensitive areas from a law and order point of view, the court observed that taking more time would only do more damage and would not help the purity of the election process. So, on the 15th of June, the SEC was directed to immediately requisition the deployment of central forces within 48 hours of court's judgment for all districts of West Bengal. The costs for the same would be borne by the central government and no cost would be charged from the state of West Bengal. The High Court said the direction is required bearing in mind the electorate, the people of West Bengal, who will exercise their franchise in ensuing the election. Further, it was also directed that the SEC ask its election officers to display their identity cards and whenever called upon, prove their identity during the election process. This order was then challenged by the West Bengal government and the State Election Commission in the Supreme Court. On the 28th of June, the Supreme Court affirmed the order of the Calcutta High Court, which directed the West Bengal SEC to requisition central forces for all districts in West Bengal for the 2023 Panchayat elections. However, it is alleged by the leader of the opposition that the High Court's order was not complied with by the State Election Commission. So, they approached the Calcutta High Court again with a contempt petition. It is submitted by the petitioners that the SEC is not obeying the High Court's order with the intent of facilitating a free and fair election, but instead only complying with the order in a token manner. A two-judge bench of Chief Justice T.S. Shivagnanam and Justice Uday Kumar heard the matter. Petitioners also submitted that SEC had earlier assured the court that it had requisitioned police forces from neighboring states. However, they contended it was only an attempt to mislead the court due to the fact that communication letters in the SLP filed before the Supreme Court show that the requisition of police forces was made only to reach Calcutta on the 6th of July, which would not cover the entire election process as had been envisaged by the Calcutta High Court. On this point, Justice Shivagnanam said this can be very well taken as an attempt to mislead the court. He said, and I quote, "Forces to be present only on the date of polling will not yield the desired results, as the court, even in the earlier order, had made it clear that a central forces would be requisitioned for the entire period and not on the date of polling alone. For forces to be present only on the date of polling will not yield the desired results. Therefore, dehors the number of police forces from the other states, the SEC shall independently and honestly assess their requirements, bearing in mind that the SEC has a constitutional obligation to ensure free and fair elections and to preserve its purity." Senior counsel appearing for the SEC submitted that the commission had already requisitioned special forces to the tune of 1,700 officers for 22 districts and that it would carry out the court's directions. The court, however, took exception to the SEC's requisitions of only 22 companies of paramilitary forces as against 825 companies deployed in 2013. The court orally remarked, and I quote, "This is a very sorry state of affairs. You are a neutral body. You need not walk any dotted line. We repose great faith in the SEC, and that is why we said that the ultimate decision must lie with the SEC. It did not act based on our confidence. So, another order had to be passed. Courts shouldn't lose faith in the system. But if ultimately people are starting to lose faith, then what is the purpose of conducting elections? Independence of the commission should not be doubted. You have gone to the highest court. Now accept their judgment. If it is difficult for the commissioner to take orders, he can step down. Probably the governor may appoint someone else. Even earlier, there was no representation from the commission. If they are so busy, they better wind up their business. If they are not in a position to, then leave it to us. We will handle it." Court has now directed the SEC to requisition a sufficient number of central forces for all districts within 24 hours. The court has asked the SEC to carry out its constitutional duty honestly and effectively in order to preserve the purity of the election process, and has listed the matter for hearing on Friday, on the 23rd of June. That's all we have for you in this video. If you want to find out more about this case, please visit our website at www.livelaw.in. If you found the video informative, please leave a like and tell us in the comments how we can shape our content to bring you your legal news in more engaging ways. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. Thank you.